I've got a great subject to start the 10 o'clock hour off. And I'd like to hear from you, actually. If you've ever been on a health kick and either lost a lot of weight or got super fit, I'd especially like to hear from you if you're a man, actually, because the diet industry tends to focus more on women. Do you think men sometimes get forgotten about? And it's this time of year, isn't it? December. I know January starts the health kick, doesn't it? We all think, oh, right, okay, I'm going to start a new health kick. But isn't it a good idea that we start in December? So the pressure's not on us to start that new year fresh. Well, I'd like to hear from you. Maybe you've tried to join a weight loss group, but were put off because of the lack of men there. Well, I'm asking because my next guest managed to lose an impressive 5 stone through the help of a local football club in Worthing. It's called Man v Fat, and it was set up to provide an environment where overweight and obese men could, just get together, play football together while being encouraged to get fit. So, forget about getting fit, just enjoy yourself and having exercise as part of that to adopt a healthy lifestyle and lose weight. Well, collectively, the members of the club have shed nearly 50 stone this year. Well, on the line now, I have Tony Stansmore, who joined the Man v Fat League in Worthing when it started back in January. Good morning, Tony.
Good morning to you.
Well, first of all, mate, can I just say congratulations on the weight loss and just starting that journey. How do you feel?
Thank you. Brilliant. I've never felt healthier in my life, I've got to say. I'm really pleased that I took the plunge and did it started last year. I feel brilliant for it.
Yeah, was there anything in particular that did you get any advice about doing it? Did you do it off the back of off your own accord? It's a big decision, isn't it? When we want to set a target for ourselves. Was it the fact that you were made accountable joining a football club and you were responsible for your actions?
Yeah, initially my initial thing was I've got 2 young sons, George and Logan, so I wanted to be fit enough to sort of chase them around again.
Yeah.
But yeah, the football helps keep you accountable. It helps keep you on track as well. So it's played a massive part in it. And I saw it advertised and wanted to start playing football again because I love football. And to have the weight loss stuff alongside it as well it's brilliant. It works really well.
Yeah, I mentioned in my intro there, Tony, about do men get forgotten? In terms of obesity and losing weight for men. Did you ever struggle with that at all, or?
I think possibly not forgotten. I think there's maybe a stigma around it.
Right.
A macho thing that we don't want to go to some of these weight loss groups and things like that, which maybe we should just knock on the head ourselves. But the Man v Fat program is brilliant. If you love football and you want to lose weight, I would highly recommend it for sure.
Right. Okay. And in terms of obviously you're playing football, was it good the fact that you were surrounded by like-minded people? Everybody was there for the same reason, and that made it almost easier to talk about things.
Absolutely, yeah. I think, everyone's in the same boat, so there's no pressure to be brilliant or anything like that. We're all overweight. We're all trying to lose weight, and we all love football. So it's a great environment to be in.
Yeah. And in terms of your nutrition and your diet and the way you went down that route, because we know that exercise is great, but obviously it's about nutrition as well. How did you find that?
Yeah, so complete diet change. More for me, it was getting on top of sort of portion control and things like that. And just eating the right things at the right times, really. So, not snacking late at night and things like that was probably my biggest challenge. Just trying to do the right things at the right time.
So you've been there, you've done it, you've got the T-shirt, you've got a small to medium now rather than a large to extra large, which I'm sure you're really proud about. So when you do get those snack pangs and you want to reach for a snack, what was you telling yourself? What was your mind? How did you do that? That's what I'm sure people will want to know is how they can fight the demons, as it were.
I think most of the time it was a lot of it is boredom. You don't actually need it. You're just bored and you think, I'm going to go to the cupboard and get something. So trying to keep my mind occupied mainly was probably more successful. And then obviously just making the smarter choices as well, choosing something healthier to snack on rather than something like a chocolate bar or a pack of crisps or something.
Well, I'm going to bring in Dr. Marilyn Glenville now, a nutritionist from Crowbar. Good morning, Dr. Marilyn.
Good morning, Kev. Lovely to be here with you.
Yeah, no, great to talk to you. We've got Tony on the line. Obviously, you've been listening to his story. Is that the biggest thing then about stopping ourselves from having those snacks? We want that magic pill that's just going to help us, don't we?
Yes, and it is, and Tony's right, it's the late at night one that actually loads up the weight. So it's the, closer to going bed that makes it more difficult. So his strategy is really good. And also the motivation. When somebody's got a motivation like he had in terms of being able to run around with his children, you just need a bigger goal that makes sense of why you want to lose that weight, why you want to get healthy. It could be anything for people in just being actually feeling like they've got more energy, sleeping better. But it's having that goal that really helps with that motivation to stay off the unhealthy foods and the, chocolate snacks, especially late at night.
Yeah, and I think the accountability as well, isn't it, is surrounding yourself with people who, you have to be not responsible for, but who are watching you more as a motivational thing.
Yeah, and I think also, like Tony was mentioning and you did, that actually it is more difficult for men in terms of most of the weight loss groups. It's more women focused, and actually men need more help. The research shows that men are more likely than women to be overweight or obese, 70% men compared to 60% women. So it's just having that, surrounding yourself with people who also have the same goal, and then combining it with something that they enjoy, like the football, really makes a difference in able to keep that motivation going. But I think it is more difficult for men because a lot of even the nutrition, health generally has been focused on women a lot, and it really needs more in terms of how we can get men together to actually all be in the same boat and have that motivation because they've all got the same, challenges that they're going through.
Yeah, and it's the man v fat. Actually, I'll ask Tony that. I'll just stick with the diet industry with you, if you don't mind. I mean, it can be a minefield, can't it? The diet industry. What top tips could you give to somebody who, it's before, Christmas is coming up. We're surrounded by all of these goodies now. We normally wait till January, but is it a good idea to just make some small changes now?
Oh, yes, definitely. I wasn't sure if you were asking Tony. So yes, I would say definitely. When we can eat 6,000 calories on Christmas Day alone, then actually, if we thought about this in the lead up, and especially the drinks parties, everything else that's going on, making small changes now makes it easier to keep hold of those rather than thinking, you're going to do all of this in the new year. And they have found that most people, after a New Year's resolution, are giving up after 10 days because they've made it too unrealistic, and like you said, the small steps, the small changes, and people feel the difference, they can see the difference, are more likely to keep going. And if we can start before Christmas, it just makes it easier because there's less weight to come off into the new year, and maybe not go overboard during Christmas. It gives that motivation to keep on track a bit more.
Yeah, it's about you're absolutely. It's that SMART acronym, isn't it? It's about being specific and being realistic. Tony, can you just describe just people will be listening, thinking, well, I like my football. I want to lose a few pounds and stuff, and it's the first time I've heard of Man v Fat. What actually happens there?
So it's a Monday night 5-a-side football league. There's a big group of us. We're split into 4 teams. We turn up on the night, we get weighed, and then we go and play half an hour football match. The score from the match stands, and then we are also awarded bonus goals, and we score own goals for weight gained and lost.
Okay.
So the score on the pitch doesn't always quite reflect the outcome of the night, depending on how you've done for the week. So the motivation's there to not let your team down by sort of gaining weight, but to score a goal for your team by losing weight. So it's all accountability.
Yeah. And are you at your ideal, your fighting weight, as it were? Are you at your ideal weight now? Have you finished your goal?
I feel I've got a little bit more I want to lose personally. I probably don't need to, but there's a little bit I want to do. But I'm almost there. Yeah, I'm almost where I want to be.
Yeah. And for anybody listening who wants to start and wants to follow in your footsteps, what are your top tips, Tony?
I mean, if you're having the doubts that I was having before I signed up of, can I do it? Will I be, will I be embarrassing myself? Things like that. Just get that out of your head, because you won't. There's such a, it's a welcoming environment. It's all inclusive, and it's probably the best thing I've done.
Yeah, it's a massive achievement, and obviously, you're a great advocate for that. I just want to bring Marilyn back in again, because Marilyn, it's saying the most recent figures from 2022 show that 61.6% of adults over 18 in West Sussex are classified as overweight or obese. It's a shocking statistic, that, isn't it?
It is shocking, and groups like Tony's join, anything where everybody feels the same, there is that accountability, and they just feel everybody's in the same boat and supporting each other, I think makes a difference and gives people that motivation, because it is thinking about, in the end, of having a way of eating, a healthy way of eating that becomes a way of life, rather than just being on a diet and then the diet stops. But it's thinking about having a healthy lifestyle and keeping that going. There will be blips like we've got coming up with Christmas and New Year, but it's thinking about how do we stay, eating well most of the time, so we reduce our weight, but we keep it stable as well after that. We want to maintain that healthy weight, and also gives us our health back as well, our energy, sleeping well, all of those other aspects that we get when we're losing weight, and we're getting our health back as well. So it's really a win-win situation.
Yeah, and there'll be, I think, is it 25% exercise, 75% nutrition? Is that how it works?
Yes, and really the nutrition is the foundation. It is that base. But if you add the exercise on, and then there's that team aspect that Tony's got there as well. So they're all in this together. They've got an enjoyable exercise that they're doing together, plus all the information around how to eat and weighing themselves as well. So I think it's a wonderful environment. And if there are other ways of doing that, yes, other slimming groups may be more focused on men, some of the groups, some women, some may be mixed as well. And I think it is just taking that first step and keep moving. It's just making that first change and those little changes and keeping those going. It's just the start of it that really makes a difference. Take the first step and keep going.
Yeah, you mentioned just keep moving there, because there'll be people who think, I'd love to run around the park, I'd love to go swimming, but I'm physically not capable. It is just about not regardless, but whatever your physical condition is, even if you're sitting in a chair, there's chair exercises that you can do, just rolling your shoulders, lifting your arms. It's a mental thing as well. That's key, isn't it, to just keep moving regardless?
Yes, and do it at home if that feels more comfortable, because you don't want to be with other people and, maybe how you look or the clothes you're wearing. And even start, if the weather's okay, 5-minute walk. It doesn't have to be you're thinking, well, I've got to do 30 minutes. You start off with 5, and then maybe a week or two later you think, I can do 10 now. And you just take it up. The trouble is, if we think about, well, I'm going to do 30 minutes or I'm going to go to the gym every morning, and it doesn't happen, with things that happen in our life, and then you think, I've failed, and well, I'm not doing any of it anymore. And like you said, even chair exercises, maybe even dancing at home, you put something on that you enjoy moving to, you walk for 5 minutes. Anything small makes a difference, and then you can add on to that as the confidence grows, as your weight changes, as you feel you've got the energy, and it's just making the small changes gives you really big differences in the end.
Yeah. Dr. Marilyn, thank you very much indeed for joining us this morning. I really appreciate that. Have a lovely day. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. I just want to go back to Tony. Has your football got any better?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I feel like my football game has improved. Yeah.
And that's a double whammy, isn't it? Your football's got better. You're losing weight, but most importantly for you, from a mental side of things, Tony, how has that helped with the mind chatter in there and how you are as a person?
It's massively grown in confidence as well. Everything, sleeping better.
Brilliant.
It completely changed my life. Yeah,
it's ticked all the boxes, hasn't it? It really has. I mean,
yeah.
exercise is a wonderful thing, isn't it? And we were just listening to Dr. Marilyn there. Even if you can't get up and exercise and run about, at least doing something, no matter how small, is hugely important. So, how can just to finish off, Tony? How can people get in touch with Man v Fat?
So it's all done through their website. It's manvfatfootball.org, and then they have various different ones that they run across the country. So I think there's one in Brighton. We do the one in Worthing. Yeah. Always looking for new players. So if anyone out there is thinking about it, just dive in and do it.
Yeah, no, it's great, and it's lovely to talk to you, Tony. It's a real success story what you've said there, because I know weight can be a really, really big issue for a lot of people, because sometimes, we don't find the energy or the encouragement to just get up and do something. But it is just a case of just getting up and moving, isn't it?
It is indeed, yeah. I can highly recommend as well the Couch to 5K app, because that started me off as well, because it gradually builds you up with the exercise and the running as well. So that's been a massive part of it too. So yeah.
Oh, brilliant. Oh, Tony, I could talk to you all morning, mate. It's a real pleasure to talk to you. Good luck with the rest of the team. And I know, Man v Fat's doing wonderful things there in Worthing, but like you said, they're dotted all around. So it's great to have them there. And good luck with everything.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
All the best. Thank you.